Hello, everybody. So I'm here today and I'm very excited because this is the first time I'll be interviewing my very old and dear friend, Padmini Kolhapure. So here I'm going to invite her to join us now. As you know her as a fabulous actor. Hi, Padmini. Hello. Hi.
Hi.
I was just about to praise you a lot, but I shall abstain from
Should I
doing
come back? Should I come back and pretend that I'm still not able to connect?
I think everybody who knows you knows all your, body of work and what a fabulous actor you are and all of that. So I think today, more than knowing you as an actor, I think I want them to know you as a person, the real Padmini who I know. So our
Do
chat
you
today,
really know the Poonam? Do you really know the real Padmini? I'm sure
that's
you
the,
must be asking yourself that question.
no, when I said that, I thought for a moment, I said, है तो स्कॉर्पियो लड़की है पूरा सब कुछ तो नहीं बताती है but yes, I know you as well as any person can know you. And I know one thing that you are a worthy friend of 30 plus years. I don't want to reveal the exact age since we met when we were teenagers. So, plus, so somebody who's been a loyal and a good friend for that many years has to be a person of some substance, right?
Yes, I mean, I think a lot of that credit goes to you, Poonam. And obviously, you know me much more than a lot of people know me. So you definitely are a special friend, a very, very special friend. And you've proved it time and again
Oh
in
my
many
God.
ways, unknowingly.
Really? Okay, I don't want to know
Yes.
about it as long as you feel that. So,
Yeah, actually, it's your day to praise me, not my day to praise you. So let's.
I've been, I think, more than happy to praise you, but I want to not waste our time in just saying how wonderful you are because you are wonderful, you are special, you are one of the most generous, kind, thoughtful person I know. That's why you're my dear friend, besides being a fabulous actor. So I want to start from just a quick thought about your beginning when you were a child star. Did you really know what you were doing? और did you just do it because you were told to do that? It's like school में कोई homework देते हैं तो चलो कर देते हैं.
Bilkul. It was that. Actually, I had an atmosphere at home of singing. It was a singing family. So it was it was musical at home. My dad used to sing and my mom used to sing. So we were brought up. I mean, I'm constantly saying we is Shivangi and me. So we were brought up in that environment. So we were pretty much aware of that around us. And then, of course, we started going to school, and I was in a very strict school, Parsi school basically, which was totally all Parsi teachers, and most of the students were Parsi. And I love that because that's where all my, I would say, eccentricities come from.
Favorite parties. What about the wonderful habits? Have you picked those up or not?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm totally a hygiene freak, cleanliness freak, and you can just name it. Everything, all the good qualities a Parsi has, I have managed to
Yeah.
imbibe them.
So tell me, such a strict school, how many days did you miss in a month to go for your
I missed
acting?
a lot. I missed a lot, Poonam, and it was really difficult, not just for me, because my parents had to actually face the brunt of it. They were constantly called to school, and every time my mom would take the back seat and she would send my father, no, 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 you go, you talk to the principal, and you talk. And every time the principal would say, Mr. Kolhapuri, your daughter Padmini, and every time. So I was Kolhapuri since then, never Kolhapure. So anyway, it was very difficult. And then what happens is, when you start, of course I started as a playback singer. I used to go for recordings. So obviously, if I went to recordings, I had to bunk school and go. So
But recording
it
is
became,
normally one day, no? Recording is for
sorry,
one day. Recording is normally only for one day. There is,
it's for one day, but I did a lot of recordings, like at least one in 15 days, one in 10 days, so whether it was a chorus or solo or whatever. So, and also, yes, of course, shooting is like a regular thing. So I had to bunk those many days. And then what happened is, for me, it became a one big holiday. So
Yeah.
school was a punishment for me. I could never, I could never concentrate on my studies. And then when you're not with,
Yeah.
your curriculum and your, daily routine, and if you're
Yeah.
not with it, then you're totally cut off and you're lost. And so many times, I mean, I'm actually saying this today. I have, in class, I've said, Miss, I have my head is paining or my stomach is paining. I just put my head down and just not, and just cut off.
And if you don't know your studies well, then you don't even like it. If you are one of the, and if you miss so many days, you can't be on top of it. So anyway, that is one thing. But your parents were so strict. How did they really? I mean, I know how strict uncle and auntie were in terms of discipline, in terms of, and having three girls. I mean, you don't blame them that, and all quite naughty girls. So उनको काफी मुश्किल रहता था. But today, now that you are a parent, and in retrospect, you are bringing up a child which is not a girl, but still, as a parent, how strict are you? Do you think being strict is a good thing? Because in today's time, I'm not so sure being overly strict is good, because then children tend to lie to you, children tend to, make excuses and not tell you and share everything with you. So if your parents are so strict, what do you feel? Do you, in retrospect, wish they were not that strict?
No, I'm glad they were strict. I'm actually glad they were strict. And coming to me as a parent, I think it's very difficult. You can never strike a balance. Never strike a balance. But it is important for a parent to be strict as well as, you know, like kindness and strictness in the same, how do you say, ratio. But it's not possible, you know. But it is important for children to have a little bit of, fear towards their parent. I mean, there should be a gap. No matter how much we say, oh, I'm my son's best friend or my daughter is my best friend, it can never be that way. It can never be that way. You can be very, 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 very close, but you can never be your child's best friend.
Somebody said that to me once, and I read that somewhere. They said, kids have a lot of friends, but they have only one parent, one father, one mother. So that role should not be compromised and say, hum to dost hain. Yes, be a friendly parent, but don't just become one of the who say, oh, shut up, mom, or this thing, backslapping. ऐसा भी नहीं होना चाहिए. उनको थोड़ा एक respect और कदर होनी चाहिए, look up to होना चाहिए. Yet at the same time, cannot be just a fear figure in their family.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
now that you started so young, you worked with almost every artist of the industry. So which actor really, when you were as a co-star, did you learn maximum from? As an actor, I'm not saying a director.
As an
Okay,
actor. Yes, as an actor, I learned a lot from Chintu, from Rishi Kapoor. A lot. Firstly, I was a great fan of his. I used to watch almost all of his and Neetu's movies. It used to
yeah.
be out in
What
the theater, and I
love
think I
now
would
that
do, yeah, we Shivangi, me, and my friend Shama. We were three of us who used to literally go first day, first show. And we were all three of us were diehard Chintu Neetu fans, Rishi Neetu fans. And I was I just loved him on screen. I loved Neetu on screen. And then when I started working with him,
in fact one of your
I
earlier
just,
films was with him, no? Most of your earlier 2, 3 films were with him.
yeah, I did Zamane Ko Dikhana Hai, Prem Rog, Rahi Badal Gaye. Just the other day, I was watching this one song on Instagram. Somebody, tagged me of Rahi Badal Gaye. And I said, oh my God, what a beautiful song. And such lovely memories came back. So I've learned so much as an actor from him, his little nuances as an actor, his expressions, how he would emote. And I would just observe him, so what
See,
happens is, as it is, you come from a family which is a perfectionist. My father was a fantastic singer, and he was so good at that. Then you have Lata Mangeshkar, Asha Bhosle, who are like phenomenal singers, like perfect.
talk
And then
about it.
you work with Rishi Kapoor and Raj Kapoor, and like such perfectionists, that
You
you're
were
left
lucky.
with no other choice to try and be a perfectionist. Nobody's perfect,
You
but
really had the best schooling, I would say. जो बोलते हैं ना acting की schooling जो हुई आपकी सबसे, I
yes,
think it was nobody could ask for going to any acting school or anything. That was the best classroom you learned in. So now I don't even want to ask you which was the best director whom you learned from, because I know the answer to that. There can be nobody better than Raj Kapoor. So let us
Absolutely.
not talk about Raj Kapoor. Other than Raj uncle, who was the most director who groomed you and taught you how to act, how to present yourself? Because you were so young at that time, you know. So to learn how to be the best version of yourself.
Uh, the thing is, again, coming back to Raj Kapoor, because I did Satyam Shivam Sundaram with him. So for me, he groomed me right from Satyam to Prem Rog. And then, of course, there was B.R. Chopra, who was fantastic. And then I worked with Bharti Raja down south, K. Balchandar, Bapu Sahab. They all were so good at their craft. I mean, I learned, you know, see, the thing is that I was very young. So I was like constantly absorbing everything that was, like being, I would say, thrown at me directly in my face. So I was just
I think
taking
there is, yeah.
taking everything from everyone, each one of them.
You know, I saw one film of yours before I really knew you with Ismail Shroff. Uh,
Oh, Ahista,
I,
Ahista.
I loved you in that film too. I thought it was an amazing role and a very good film. And of course, all the directors you have named are exemplary. So we can't even say, इनमें से एक कौन सा अच्छा था. So I don't want to talk about that. Now you started earning money at an age where kids, I mean, people don't start earning till they're in their mid 20s or late 20s. You know, that is everybody's ideal कि मैं पढ़ाई फिनिश की अब एक्सपीरियंस की अब मैं पैसे कमाने शुरू करूँ. I think you started earning. Did it change your attitude towards money? कि मैं तो बचपन से कमा रही हूँ
Because
मेरे
I
पास.
was never, I was, no, because I was never in charge of the money, that I earned. It was all taken care of by my parents and very beautifully taken care of by them. They never treated me like a star at home. Never, never, ever. So I never felt like a star. I just felt like I went to work, just did
Yeah.
my bit, acted, and I came back home to a
That is
family where I have
actually
to sit.
important, Sandeep. It is actually so
Sorry?
important. That is actually so important in today's time. I think half the reason that actors are having so many issues and problems is that there is no normal, behavior with them. Their friends treat them differently. The media treats them differently, and even their parents treat them in a very different way. You and me were lucky that our family was so normal.
Absolutely. Poonam, you and I, we were really lucky because there's so much pressure today, these days. There's so much pressure, where social media is concerned, where the media is concerned. There's so much competition. There's so many actors. And, like every day, I'm getting to know X's son wants to become an actor, Y's daughter wants to become an actress. So it's like, during our times, we never heard of anybody like our friends who wanted to get into films, or let's say our cousins wanted to get into movies or something of that sort. Now it is like every second child wants to become an actor. So
And here, let
just
me
imagine
also
the kind of
tell our viewers, we are not talking only about film people's children. They are just few. I'm talking about every non-film person's child also wants.
non-film person.
Yeah, you know,
Exactly.
that is what it is. I
Exactly.
have people who have, work in airline business. There are people who work as doctors, people who work as
Business family children, and doctors children, and gymnasium children, everyone wants to become an actor.
that is true. That is really, that's why. So, in fact, I would use this opportunity to say, like thousands and millions of kids, even actors children want to be actors. So, why should they be, totally said against, oh, how dare they want to be an actor, which is really something unfair. Anyway, leave that aside. This is not something we need to discuss. So, tell me one thing. You have
But
been,
I'm sorry to interrupt you here, Poonam. I think it's like today, if I have never sort of imposed movies or acting on my son. Never, never. I've never said that you have to become an actor, or. But like, for instance, my grandfather was an actor on stage, so it is in our DNA. It's in our genes. So my son has automatically, sort of got it in him. No matter how much I talk him out of it, no matter how much, if his drive is towards becoming an actor or a director or a filmmaker, I cannot take it away from him. It's very sad, and it's not fair.
Exactly.
And I would
Pay
definitely
for it because
encourage
he
him.
wants to be an actor. Why should he have to
Exactly.
pay the price because mother was an actor, so I don't dare to become an actor because trolls will troll me and people will say all this to me. That's really very silly, actually, na? So, okay, tell me, you and me both are foodies. हम दोनों मतलब खाने के लिए काफी मशहूर हैं. Some of my heroes used to tell me, "My God, you eat like I eat." You know, some of my co-stars used to be looking at me, "So इतनी पतली कैसे है? How you eat so much?" And you are the same thing. You were skinny all your life, so you are still skinny. So tell me about this food passion. Now you're so fond of eating. Are you fond of cooking also?
No, I'm not, Poonam. I keep watching your shows on Instagram. And recently I saw your recipe, soul fish with vegetable, healthy soul fish. Of course, when I heard healthy, I said, I'm not too sure. But then it just sort of, the way you were doing it, the way you were preparing it, I watched the entire
You
recipe, and
make
I'm going
it.
to definitely try. I'm going to try. I haven't tried it yet.
I was going to tell you I want a good recipe from you for my cooking presentation because your house ka prawns, the fish. Oh my God! I know. I'm sure you learned it from your mother. She was such an exemplary cook
And
also.
I do. I think that that bit Tejaswini is taking care of. So she makes the fish and she sends me. But yeah, I'm not. I mean, I can cook, but I don't enjoy cooking. Again, because I've been working, I've never been,
अपने
thrown
husband
into it.
organize करती है उसके आलू भी उसकी दाल भी. For those people who
वो
don't
तो
know,
आज तक करती हूँ पूनम, आज तक करती हूँ कि
that's
what
what
is
I
the dal and what is the sabzi and what is the bindi, and bindi में प्याज नहीं होना चाहिए and लहसुन नहीं होना चाहिए, and Priyank will eat his his usals and his sprouted food, typical Maharashtrian food, puran poli and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy eating it myself. But I was never. I mean, my husband never forced me to cook. कि मुझे मेरी बीवी के हाथ का खाना खाना है. Of course, my poor son probably is deprived. कि माँ के हाथ का खाना कभी नहीं खाया. So at least his wife will never have this issue कि मेरे हाथ का खाना is always compared to my mother-in-law. At least that's one thing.
I know you run your house beautifully. As you said, बेटे के लिए कुछ बनता है, husband के लिए कुछ बनता है, for you something else. So I know also you are one of the rare heroines जो खुद जाके shopping भी करती है. So tell me, give tips to people today. जब fish खरीदनी होती है, so how to know if the fish is good or not?
Oh my God! Is that am I giving a tip to them or to you?
To them and me, but let's because I
Yes.
know you know that.
Yeah. So see, like, I can't even believe this. So when thing is, I have a trusted fisherwoman who comes to actually my door, brings me the best. She knows how particular, because she used to come during my mom's time, so she knows we are very particular about fish. Like, my husband is a pure vegetarian, but when we go to a restaurant and when I'm ordering fish, the first thing he will say is, make sure the fish is fresh. That's the first thing
I
he will
know
say,
that.
because this fisherwoman comes to my doorstep. She the prawns, I'll first smell it, and then it has to be like fresh. I don't know how to explain that. They don't have to be smelly. And well, the fish, we check. Like, I remember once. I think I can't remember who I was talking to, or I heard. I think it is Shobha Day, if I'm not mistaken. I think. She said, because they are Bengalis. I mean, her husband's a Bengali, and she said, when they buy fish, the fish should be smiling, something like that. It should be a smiling fish. So I was like, okay, not that I see my fish smiling or anything of that sort, but the pomfret, we kind of press the top bit. If the water comes out, should be white, not red. And then it should be like a shiny, like the sheen should be there on the fish. Then it's fresh. I mean, I don't know how to explain, Poonam.
तो भिंडी कैसे बाय करनी चाहिए? भिंडी कैसे मालूम होता है कि फ्रेश है, सही है?
तो भिंडी क्या होता है, आपको लेके टक ऊपर का जो होता है ना लास्ट बिट, उसको तोड़ना चाहिए. So if it kind of breaks easily, like, with a sound, then it's fresh.
I'm impressed that you knew about Hindi. I was going to ask you more Torai, Bang and everything, but I think we won't waste time. You have passed the test. Hindi ka you have figured out. Yeah, it should be hard and crisp and it should just snap and not be soggy and dila dhala. So now tell me, what do you like traveling a lot? I know. So before that, let me show one little thing which I had made, which you have seen it, but I want to show it to our uh, viewers today. Something I had made for you. It's mostly between us. It's a little, I would say, us centric, but I will still share it with our friends and I will show it to them. A little collection of our memories together. So this is not as long as the one I made for your birthday, but it is still it's a,
Honestly, that was so fab.
yeah, it was.
Wow, such lovely pictures. Wow, such lovely memories put together, Poonam. Only
Actually,
you can do
stuff
this.
as young people. No, I like to do things for people I care for. You know that. I won't do it for
Yes,
everybody and everybody, but because you're
absolutely.
special, so I said I have to do this for rather than showing them an excerpt of your film, which they all see on YouTube and everywhere. So, what people don't know of you, Pandi, is the spiritual side of you. I want you to talk very briefly about it because I know how important that is in your life and how much time and effort and how much you do for that side, and you never talk about it in your interviews or something. So quickly tell us firstly, how did you get into it, and what is the biggest, I would say, benefit you've had for yourself and for other people?
So, of course, this is something very close to my heart, and I would say it is actually, it comes first, I mean, and foremost in my life, although I've not spoken much about it. So, I'm part of this spiritual organization called Sukyo Mahikari, which comes from Japan. And I've been in this for now 25 years, 25 plus
What got
years.
you to it in the first place?
Sorry.
How did you know about it and go towards it?
See, what happens is, I think one goes to such places if you have some issues, maybe physical, mental, or some stress, or things like that. So you start seeking. And I had a back issue, and I went to receive light. I mean, that's what we do. So I received light, and then I realized that this is not this basically this is not a benefit seeking faith. It is something much beyond. It is to to purify your soul, your mind, and then your body. So it is more of a giving, uh, something you're constantly giving to people. You're kind of we are instrumental in radiating the Creator God's light. So it's a course you do. It's a 3-day course, and then you you can start raising your hand. That's what we do.
Yeah, so I have to tell our people who are hearing us today that whenever Padmini hears that somebody is ailing or unwell or suffering or any of those things, she volunteers to go to them, and just give light. So it's a healing light, it's a pure light. And I think it's a beautiful thing she does every week. Nowadays, it must be a little not possible because
Yeah,
of the.
now everything has come to us on a
Otherwise,
hold.
week she was hosting people at her house. Anybody who could come and receive light and benefit by it. So that's something which is wonderful, which she doesn't talk about, and I wanted you all to know that. So now tell me about your travel. You love traveling, I know that. So
I love travel.
what is it you enjoy most about traveling? Is it the shopping? Is it the eating? Is it the sightseeing? What is it which you enjoy most?
All of this. No, shopping, not so much, Poonam. I mean, I'm not as bad a shopaholic as you. You are a maniac.
I know, I know. This pandemic has made me realize I have so much which I don't need and I don't use, and I hope I'll emerge a less maniac shopper from this. But the thing is, I don't only buy for myself; I buy for about everybody I can think of. So my
Yeah, true.
family, my friends, my nieces, nephews, everybody. I feel like buying. It gives me happiness. So, but anyway, so what do you
Yeah, so
like doing?
I mean, I love traveling, and I like to travel with like-minded people, number one. And I enjoy traveling all by myself. I love traveling, I know a lot of my friends who feel that, oh my God, how can you just be on your own? How can you travel? How can you, sort of stay on your own? I said, I mean, I'm very happy doing that. I can even go to a restaurant all by myself, sit on a table alone,
For
order
that.
my food, and eat it. I've done that so many times.
Yeah, and the funny stories about Padmini is she, of course, see, when you're abroad, nobody knows you there. So that freedom of just traveling by yourself, eating by yourself, all that is much more. But she has gone in the middle of that crowded city of Kolkata and gone and eaten alone in the restaurant, ordered and just eaten. And those are really funny stories about you.
That
So
just shows what a foodie I am. That just shows
yeah.
what a foodie I am.
No, but you know what I really find very amazing about you is you don't carry that I'm Padmini Kolhapure around your कि I expect this to be done for me or this, which is something I think which has contributed to our being friends because we both like doing normal things. We've gone to restaurants, we've traveled overseas together, we've done things, events together and everything. And the comfort level is because you are so easygoing. I'm also quite easygoing, and you of course nag me about my health and exercising and doing this and doing that, which I'm not that good at as you are. But at the same time, this giving part, this caring part, does it come from the fact that you grew up with two sisters and that sharing for each other, looking out after each other? And I know still how much you do for your nieces and look after them, literally being a babysitter and a second mother. So where does that come from? That part of your spiritual growth, you think?
I don't know. I guess, these things are just inherent, I mean, I don't think, yes, it can get enhanced, you know, through these various aspects. But I think basically I like being at home. I'm a very home loving person, and I like being at home, looking after. I love it when Vedika comes. I love it when, Siddhan, Shraddha, I'm constantly thinking about that. I'm not at all an outgoing person. One has to, because the profession you are in, out of maybe 10 things, 10 places, I'll go to 3 or 4. I was going to say 8, but no, that's not true.
Okay, so tell me, what is it in this pandemic? What have you learned about yourself and about life in general? And how did you cope up with the stress? Because there is bound to be stress. There are people around you who have fallen sick. You're worried for your family, for your husband, for your child, for everything. So how have you coped up? Because people are still going through it. Can you give any coping skills which people can benefit by families, they're getting on each other's nerves, they're fighting, and there's been a lot of arguments. We've all coped up with certain things. So, any particular thing you think you can give them advice how to handle it?
I think it's very important to be strong in the mind. It's very difficult, very, very, very difficult, having said that. And I think it's just, if you can just be happy, and if you can see someone who is not as, how do you say, privileged as you are, I think that just makes it easier to realize the value and the worth of things around you, people around you, your family being with you. I think this is really, I've heard of so many people saying that, oh, we've had such wonderful days, we've bonded and we've got to know each other all over again. A lot of, and also I've heard the opposite, where people have been breathing down each other's necks and wanting to tear uh, each other's hair apart. But I think the most important thing is, you know be giving, be loving. And I think harmony at home really makes a hell of a difference, and that's again in the hands of the parents. So once your parents, I mean, once the parents are together in harmony, children automatically follow suit. So I think that's very
I think
important.
the
And
one thing which I have felt maybe is tolerance. One thing is tolerance for each other. That is very important because we cannot expect everybody to be just the way we are, right? To have somebody whom you love or your family having a different thought, we cannot just become, okay, no, it has to be. That is what I'm figuring out. Whether it's your child or your parent or your husband or whoever is with you or your spouse or your wife, you cannot say the way I want it is the only right way. That is a very very important lesson I have learned. Please respect other people's space. Give them the opportunity and the option of also wanting to do. उनके भी तो कुछ डिजायर्स और इच्छाएं हो सकती हैं, मूड्स हो सकते हैं. तो हम लोगों को मैं ये समझती हूँ या मैं ये समझता हूँ should not be. नहीं, don't you think tolerance is a very very
yeah,
important thing in every way?
tolerance.
For everything, could be different food, different religion, different timings, different choices. Tolerance, I think, is something we all need to uh, practice and learn. We all need to learn better. I feel I need to improve myself in that. I'm sure all of us do. So I think as since time is such a crazy thing, it keeps running. So now tell me, you love also giving gifts to your friends. So what is the most expensive gift you've given a friend ever?
What is the most expensive gift I have given?
I
Oh,
think it's
wow.
family or could be anybody.
See, talking about gifts, I'll tell you, when I have to gift something to a friend or whoever it may be, need not just be a friend, or let's say, I always think that would I want to receive this gift myself? Will I be happy receiving this gift? So whenever I give a gift, it is something like, if it's coming out of my wardrobe, it's something that I have picked up for myself. It's not something that I have just taken, just or somebody has given it to me and I'm passing it on to someone because I'm never going to use it and because it's of no use to me, so I just forward the gifts. So for me, I'd rather not give a gift than just give a gift which doesn't have any feeling or emotions or things like
So
that.
most expensive,
Expensive gifts. Sorry.
which is the most
Sorry.
expensive, which is the most expensive gift you've given, and to who?
I really can't remember right now, just suddenly, because I have given quite a few expensive gifts, but I can't like just straight away think of
Okay,
something.
give
I
you
don't.
give you a push. What have you given your husband, which was the most expensive gift, other than yourself?
uh, I think I've given him quite a few gifts. I mean, out of them, I've given him a very smart watch, a wristwatch. Um, I've gone. I mean, few things here and there.
What is the most spontaneous and crazy thing you've done? Just suddenly, utke bolo, just do this without thinking about it too much. Ek kar lo, kuch bhi.
I got married very spontaneously.
I was other than your marriage,
I'm
because
sure this wasn't.
that
I
was
just
really
got up
really.
one fine day and I said, okay, let's get married without thinking.
बस उसके बाद बस कर दिया spontaneity.
उसके बाद मैंने फिर से उठ के ऐसे नहीं सोचा कि चलो फिर से शादी कर लेते हैं बिना सोचे.
Thank God for that. I mean, I remember my most spontaneous thing I did was I was speaking to Pam Chopra, and she was in Paris. They were shooting for some film of Adi Chopra, and she says, "क्या फिर आ जाना तू Paris?" So I said, "Ma'am, ये अभी कल सारे." Just this, what are you thinking? Just be spontaneous and come. I literally called up my travel agent. It was 6:30 in the evening. So I said, I need a ticket. She says, Friday today, Saturday. मैं मंडे को आपको बताती हूँ. अच्छा नहीं, मुझे कल जाना है. She's like, what? नहीं, वीजा है, वीजा है मेरे पास. And I literally left the next day for Paris. So that was my most spontaneous thing.
Wow.
It's city, है ना? So now, Pandi, I think I wanted to keep it short and I can keep chatting with you. You know, when we talk, whether on the phone or when we meet in person, we can keep chatting. So tell me something which I have not asked, but you want to talk about it. You want to tell me about this new venture you have started with your son? Quickly, let's end with that, with your music company, which you have just launched.
Yeah, sure. So it's called Dhamakar Records. We launched it on the 1st of November. And why my son wanted to do it on the 1st of November is because when he did his movie Sab Kushal Mangal, he said yes. And it just happened to be my birthday when he said yes to the movie. He said, Mom, oh my God. He said, I agreed to do the film on your birthday. And then when it was Dhamaka launch, my birthday was nearing. And he said, Mom, why don't we do it on your birthday? And I said, Priyank, now you're getting very carried away. But it's so sweet of him. I mean, he's emotional about it and he's...
How wonderful.
Yeah. So Dhamakar Records is a record label where, where we're going to sort of record songs, and we're going to start with my song. I don't want to reveal which song.
I don't mind to hear it, Pandi. You're such a good singer and you don't sing enough. I think it'll be lovely. Yeah.
So we are starting, we're going to launch it with my song. And then, of course, there's going to be a video shoot as well. And then we're going to launch it with that song. And then we're going to have, subsequently, we are going to have renowned singers and newcomers as well. We're going to have Punjabi Tadka. We're going to have, you name it, maybe Gujarati Dhamaka. You can just, like, it's going to be a full dhamakedar.
Zarur Punjabi गाना आपके लिए गाती थी. I swear.
Absolutely. At least I'll get you dancing to the Punjabi songs.
वो भी थोड़ा बहुत कर सकती हूँ. Okay, now I'm going to end soon, but I want 2 tips from you. Health tips, because I know you're very conscious about it. So give me 2 things. One is diet tips and one is health tips. Like exercising, your swinging. Whatever you want to tell about. So tell me first about diet, because I think it's very important to eat right. And the way you have lost the weight and kept the weight off over the years is phenomenal. So tell me about it.
I think maybe because I lead a hyperactive life, so maybe the my weight remains the same because of that, and I have my house which I have to keep going up and down.
I tell them your secret last time which you told me.
What was the secret? Chadu, katka. Well, that I'm even doing today. I'm
doing katka and jharu, and she says she's lost maximum weight with that.
I have. I've never had such thin arms, Poonam. You know, I always craved for thin arms. I've never had such thin arms. They're still fat, but I've never had such thin arms. And I've actually lost weight. And it's purely because I've been doing housework. And I'm loving it. You know, it's like...
doing katka is one way. I came home, looked at the katka, and I thought about it for 2 days. Then I said, I'd rather have fat arms.
You remember when we spoke, I even demonstrated how to mop. Yeah. But I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. So if I wasn't an actress, I think I would have been a good homemaker.
You would have been a jhadu wali, jhadu katka wali.
Well, if you're a homemaker, you have to be a jhadu katka wali. You can't help. And whether you're a working woman or not, you still have to take care of your home. And all these things, obviously.
I know you're a great housemaker, even now. Being an actor, being a star, being everything, you're still an amazing housemaker, keeper, house, like a wife, mother, everything. So tell me about diet. One quick tip to say magical words, how to keep yourself healthy.
See, I'll tell you about myself. I mean, my friend Sita, she says I have a very high BMR. So, but besides that, the thing is, the minute I wake up in the morning, I'm hungry. Whether it's 3 a.m., if I'm in Japan, At 5:30 a.m., I'm having the full Japanese breakfast, which consists of rice and fish and miso and you name it. So if it's 5:30 in the morning, I'm hungry. Or if I wake up at 11 a.m., I'm hungry. So I wake up to a nice, healthy breakfast, which, I eat everything. That's like we have idli sambar, we have dosas, we have eggs, we have all these things for breakfast. So I eat a hearty breakfast. Then I thing is I don't binge between meals because I eat to my heart's content all the three meals: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Uh, so I don't binge in between meals. So I think that is also one of the main
So
reasons because I
wonderful.
just don't feel hungry.
So basically, this goes against the new dietitians who say eat every 2 hours. So this is contrary to that, right?
Well, what my lifestyle is definitely contrary to that, but I'm sure they've done their research and they've done everything, so that's how they are. But I think, and most importantly, most importantly, is yes, don't feel guilty when you eat. Don't feel guilty. कि, oh, I've eaten so much. Oh no, why did I eat that meetha? Oh, मैंने ये नहीं खाना चाहिए था. I shouldn't have eaten that puri, or I shouldn't have eaten that fried, whatever you call it, the bhajia or the pakoda. Just don't. If you're because we are so connected, everything is so connected, it just works in your system. So just don't feel guilty, just eat, be happy, and get on with life.
So do you eat meetha? Is sweet one of your sins?
Sweet is one of mine. I actually crave for chocolate cake and chocolates, and meetha is one of. I'm trying to actually see. We are not getting any younger, so I am trying to go slow on meetha. Not that I've gone any slow, but I'm trying to control my meetha, trying to control my fried stuff. Like I used to love samosas, but I can't remember last time I've had a samosa. The only samosa I enjoy is when it comes from Jaipur.
Can I get
Jaipur
you on
samosas,
Monday samosas from your
Sorry?
favorite place? Can I get you samosas on Monday from your favorite place?
Oh, please, 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 from Punjab, Punjab
Yes,
Sweet
yes.
Mart, no? Something like that. Yeah.
I
Yes,
I shall do that. Monday I will tempt you with all the fattening and yummy things.
thank you.
Yes. So let's end our
Thank
nice
you.
lovely chat. It's only because I want to keep the time shorter, and we're going to call up later and talk again. So, anything you want to say before we end, Mandeep?
Oh, it's so lovely chatting with you. Like, just feel like continuing. It's as if,
I know, but
we're just having a phone conversation, it's so lovely. And
feel
no, nothing. I mean, all I can say is thank you for being my friend, Poonam. What you are, be what you are. Stay the way you are. You're so lovely and you're so pretty. My friends saw you on Kapil show and on Saregama, and they said Poonam is so pretty. She's so. I mean, I think I said the same to you. Forget everything else. See, you are your own critic. Okay, you'll never like yourself. We all are. You know how actors are. Nee. I know very few actors, who say, "Wow, I'm the
yes,
best. I'm
I
the
know
best."
some who
But
say that, wow, मैं कितनी अच्छी लग रही हूँ. Oh, have you seen me in this? How wonderful I am. ऐसे भी हैं वैसे.
no, what I mean is they're aware of their beauty. They're aware of their whatever. But I think you and I, because we are from old school, we're very critical. So having said that, all I can say is thank you and just be the way you are. Stay
I
blessed.
thank you and thank you and be well and be this wonderful person that you are. And I'm going to end with a note to say that I think people will learn from you. I wish there were more people like you in the world, and the world would
Oh,
be a better place. Really. Thank you.
thank you, and to all your viewers.
Thank you. Okay.